Oh my.
Hello and welcome back to the Blue Tinted Glasses YouTube channel for the episode 2 of the Fox's Den. As you can see on screen, I'm joined by Anil once again and Ash, and we've also got a guest, Ragsy. So I'll start with you, Ragsy, mate. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. At least what I can say with this weather, man, it has been freezing, man, over the course of the day. Like, summer's definitely gone, forget about it. It's I can't, like, I'm one of them people, and I might be in the minority where I'm just like, with when it comes to just preferring winter over summer. I can't understand it. I love my heat. I love the sun. I love some, and I just want it back and stuff. But apart from that, nah, been all good, mate. Been all good.
Nice one. Anil, mate, how you doing? I mean, I think we're all great because football's back. So, but yeah, how you doing, mate?
Even more great after seeing that video. That was fire. Whoever put that together, I'm guessing it was Josh, but
yeah,
awesome. Great to see the growth in the channel docs, but yes, super excited. Sorry, not the biggest fan of international football. Bring me back my Premier League. Let's get it going on.
Lovely stuff. Ash, mate, how you doing, pal?
Yeah, all good, thanks, Lux. All good, mate. Just mirror what these guys say. Can't wait for the club football to be back.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Right, just before we get into it, don't worry, we're going to be talking football in just a second, but I just wanted to bring this up on screen. This stream is sponsored by Football Prizes. They have this amazing Winks and Ndidi double-framed signed shirt. So if you do want to quickly buy a ticket for £3.95, then it's up for another 28 minutes. So don't leave this stream for it. Don't do that. Open a new tab and go and grab your ticket. There we go. And you might win, but you've got 28 minutes to do it. Right, let's get into the football. So, Anil, Crystal Palace, mate. We've, I mean, we're winless in the Premier League so far. We have a point, which is good, against Tottenham Hotspur. But now we have Crystal Palace. Now, some people I've seen saying it's going to be the easiest game so far out of Spurs, Villa, Fulham, and Palace. I've got a feeling that's not going to be the case. They've lost some players, I know, but they've also kind of replaced them players. They've still got Eze, Adam Wharton. So what are your initial thoughts going into this one? How are you feeling about it?
I'm really looking forward to the game because I think it will be a very entertaining game to watch. I just did like a pretty much preview video on my channel, and I was looking at how Palace play. So they've obviously got a new manager in Glasner. And that's the most interesting thing. So in the past, Crystal Palace, let's be honest, they've battered us quite a few times, right? In the Claude Puel era, some of them are not the most fun games to go to. I was actually Selhurst Park when they battered us by 5, which was no fun. But they completely changed their principles. And with Glasner, they play quite attacking style of football. They're trying to dominate the ball. They're trying to get forward. They play like a 3-4-3 system. And I think that can suit us as well, though, because then I actually think we struggled against the Hodgson teams because he was prepared to shut up shop and hit us on the break. So them having to go will also mean the spaces for us, and that should make it an entertaining battle. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping us down to win, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised by any result coming out of that. But genuinely, I'm looking forward to the game. They were on a hot run at the end of last season. Hasn't quite happened for them this season, but they're still playing well. And I think it will show us where our Leicester is a team, right? Especially now with the PSR monkey off our back, which I'm sure Ash will kind of come to in a moment when you get to him. But there's sort of no excuses now. Show us what you can do on the pitch. I hope that the lads are excited for it. And so I'm excited. And I think after this game and the Everton one, we're going to know, what Cooper's more intentions are. Because these are games that are winnable. I'm not saying that we'll win this one specifically, but it is winnable. And so I want to see us have a go, hopefully. We've got the squad in. Really looking forward to it.
Ragsy, I know we speak quite a bit on Playback, on Foss Hub and on Talk Leicester City as well. But let's just very briefly touch on PSR. Do you think it will give the players a boost mentally? Because, we've said for a while now that, like last season, when we dipped in form in the Championship, we said, maybe PSR, maybe the point seduction news has caused a little bit of that, kind of downturn in form. Maybe it's affected them mentally. Do you think this is now the flip side? Do you think this will give the players a boost?
Oh, massively. I don't think, and we've not really been known to have like a strong mentality throughout the squad over the years. I think, you see like bursts of that, like when a new manager comes in, wants to implement a new style of philosophy and stuff, like with Brendan, like we've seen with Enzo. But then those little hindrances start to sort of appear as soon as you sit, like as soon as you go into like a moment of adversity, and it's about
Yeah.
like persevering through that and trying to see what you can come out of it on the other side in a strong show of light, basically. I think, yeah, I think it's not only for the players, the manager, the boards, the fans, just a massive weight lifted off our shoulders. I think it's you then sort of head into it. I mean, it was rumored to be around 10 points, considering like the amount of like in terms of how far over the limits we were in terms of our spending with the PSR breach. So
Yeah.
like that's 3 wins and a draw. Like that's huge in a relegation battle. So knowing that that's now not going to be sort of accounted for, like
Yeah.
I think it entitles, it gives the license for this team to just full on go for it, go into it with confidence, not have that looming over us anymore. It's all settled. I mean, yeah, of course, there could be something from the 23-24 season, but I don't think that's anything particularly to worry about for this time, not for this season anyway. Yeah, I think just give that burst of confidence, but also maybe a little bit of added pressure on Cooper now, being like, well,
Yeah.
now's the time not to be conservative. Right. This is very doable for us to go and achieve our target of staying up this season, because that's across the board. I think we can all agree is surely 17th and above. Like
Yeah.
it has to be the aim. It has to be the target. And if Cooper then doesn't really adhere to that and deliver on those promises, then we're starting seeing results that are not going our way. And especially when you head into the run with Palace, with Everton, heading into October as well, Southampton, Ipswich, Bournemouth, like these are very winnable fixtures, or if not, to at least get a lot of points on the board. So if he's not delivering that, then questions do need to be raised over his position.
Well, I agree with you on the pressure, because Ash, for me, there's no doubt now this is added pressure on Steve Cooper, because not like he would use it anyway, but there's no excuses. If we get relegated, as it stands, rumor, I'm not in the know or anything like that, but I'm saying rumor has it we might get another one later in the year. But anyway, as it stands, we have no points deduction. So if we get relegated, that's solely on us. It's solely on the players and Steve Cooper. So on the topic of Steve Cooper, will we see 3 defensive midfielders this weekend on the pitch starting the game? And when I say 3 DMs, of course, I'm on about Winks, Skipping, and Didi all playing together.
Yeah, I think this is the game that's got to change, hasn't it? Because we seem to come into the game when we're bringing these attacking midfielders on, and I think we do need to mix it up.
Yeah,
I don't think we can afford to lose Winks out the lineup. He seems to be our spine at the moment, doesn't he? Spraying the balls across the midfield from playing the deeper role, and it works. But we do need. I think Bonanate needs to start. He's been fantastic every time he's played for us, and maybe the young Moroccan lad. Let's give it a go. We've got to look at this season now that we've got to go and get as many points as we can. We've got to fight every game. We've got to be in every game. But I don't mean be in every game by sitting back and staying in the game. I mean be in every game by taking a game to an opposition, no matter who it is. Obviously, that style of play gets a pasting in some fixtures with your Man Cities and your Liverpools. But, with these winnable games, you probably get results from going out and having a go at it. Sitting back all season is not going to be the answer, I don't think, mate.
No, I agree. Anil, what Ash just said there, mate, about playing a certain way would get a paste in every now and then. Do you think it's worth the risk? Would you set up maybe more attacking and risk maybe Crystal Palace killing us on the transition or something like that? Maybe they go 1-0 up, maybe even 2, and that's from us. Or do you think Cooper should stick with his current ideas, his current kind of philosophy, if you like, of trying to stay in the game as long as possible and then going for it? Because in my opinion, yes, I suppose every game so far could have been different if certain things went differently. But it hasn't worked, has it? Because we haven't won. We haven't won a game. You know what I mean? It hasn't worked.
there's what I would do and what Cooper would do. But I will defend Cooper a little bit here and say that so far, he didn't have all the players that he wanted that were available at the right time to use them in the way that he wants to. What I've been reliably informed is during the international break, Wolfgang Didi actually played 2 games for Nigeria, but Bilal El Khanous only played 1. He played the first one and he was rested for the second one. So he's actually got a free hit here where he could say, well, I was going to start in Didi, but because he came back late from international break, I had to start Bilal if it all goes wrong. So I'm giving him, if the Leicester City admins are listening to this, he's got a free hit to try that setup anyway and play an attacking midfield from the start. Now, interestingly, for my research, I watched the Palace versus West Ham game the whole way through to study and make notes. And Palace had more possession, and they actually lost the game at home 2-0 on transition themselves. So that is maybe something that the team will be looking at as a way that we could beat them. But the thing is that's on transition. That doesn't change if you have either Ndidi or Bilal or Buonanotte in the team. For me, actually, that means that you need to have pace, and especially in the wide areas, because basically they play a 3-4-3. So where are the gaps? It's in their wing back position behind them.
Yeah.
So in that game, they got done because Jared Bowen got onto the ball in acres of space, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka also had a good game there too. So actually, whilst I would like to see either Bilal or Buonanotte start, for me, the more important player that should be starting is Stefi Mavididi, because they're going to be the gaps in behind. Now, to answer your question you asked me earlier, will he start that way or put it on later? There is actually an argument for both ways, depending on what you want to go for. But I know that I think all of us Leicester fans, we can understand what's been done so far, but we haven't really seen us actually go for it yet, right? And I would like to see what that looks like, especially now that we're not in such a defensive position with the points penalty, that we can have a go. Let's have a go at Palace. Let's see what it is, right? And see where we stand. So I hope he does it. Whether he does it or not, I don't know. But there's definitely merit to put in that. And I would say again, someone just mentioned Harry Winks being the spine of the team. Totally agree. Free stat for you, he's made the second most line-breaking passes out of any player in the Premier League this season. But playing against Palace, again, if they're going to be leaving gaps in those wing-back areas on transition, you want more players who can do that. And Bilal looked to do that quite a few times in just his first few minutes in the game. So I would start him personally, but I'm a big fan of Buonanotte. I think he's, for 19, wow. I'd like to see him here next season in some form. If not, he's going to have a good career. But yes, I want us to attack. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, we always say don't fall in love with a lone player. I mean, with Buonanotte, I think it's like a necessity. Do not fall in love with him, because I don't think we'll ever see him in a Leicester shirt again, personally. But, we could be wrong on that. Ragsy, for me, Buonanotte has been our best player this season, in my opinion. And he didn't start against Villa. The rumour, again, has it that he had a groin knock or something like that, a strain. And Bilal had only had one training session, which is why he never started. But do you think, is it a no-brainer? No matter what, Buonanotte has to start?
Even if he's 70-80% fit, I think absolutely. I think when I look at Cooper in terms of the approach and stuff, and I got a little bit of really, is that what you think? And it's just, I think it's the approach against Fulham and Villa was okay. I looked at the pressing structure. I looked at how the endeavour and going in for duels and stuff. So with Cooper, in terms of what he's actually doing right, he's putting out a well-committed side. That's not the problem, really.
Yeah.
I think where he sort of limits himself is this team selection, which is so annoying because, if he can do that with the right players on the pitch, then all of a sudden we're looking on the up here. We can actually get results. We can actually climb ourselves up the table. So, but yeah, he's got to be playing the right players. You look at Buonanotte in the game against Tottenham, he was absolutely dazzling on the pitch. It was one of our only outlets and stuff alongside Fatawu. Best player, it's early in the season, but yeah, he's up there with one of the better players, maybe even with Fatawu as well, for sure. It's Okoli had I know it's only one game for Okoli, but he looked quite impressive for me. But yeah, I think we do need that creative spark. The problem when you have 3 CDMs, and that's what we started with Villa, I had a feeling that he'd go for that just due to Bilal not really being signed in time. And if it was the case that Facundo wasn't able to start.
He did a dress rehearsal against Tranmere, didn't he? It was
Yeah,
like a dress rehearsal.
And I thought, like, oh, okay. And he thought, oh, okay, we battered Tranmere with that, so surely it will work against Villa. So, but I'm like, yeah, of course it fucking won't. But yeah, when we had the 3 CDMs against Villa, we won the ball back in parts, but then they were all so congested and so close together that when they were trying to lay it off and stuff, it was all like just really short 5-yard passes to each other. And you had the front three all spread out, and none of the three was able to like distribute the ball out to the front three. So Fatawu, Vardy, they were starved the surface. Even Ayew was working off of scraps as well. Like the balance of the team needs to be addressed. I don't mind if it's the case that ideally on paper, I'd love to see like El Canous and Buonanotte as 2 number 8s. That would be fantastic. But you got to think of the other side as well. You got to like learn to walk before you can run, and don't like it's still not have that back door left open and stuff. You got to find like a CDM that can do it on his own, that can shut up shop and help the defense out, whilst also allowing the attack just to like create chances and giving the service to that front three as much as possible. You need to resolve the balance. So if it's the case of going with 2 CDMs, then that's fine. But you can't do 3. You just simply can't. It doesn't work.
Well, I agree with you, mate. I mean, Ash, we don't need to talk about the striker because we know it's going to be Jamie Vardy, because Odsonne Edouard can't play against his parent club. Patson Daka's still injured. Tom Cannon's at Stoke. Maybe Jordan Ayew? No, I don't think so. I think it'll be Vardy who starts the game. So we don't need to talk about that. Maybe next week we could talk about that. But let's look at the back. I think it will be Fass and Okoli again. I think Cooper probably saw enough of them to put them back in as a partnership. The fullbacks, though, that's another. I feel like the midfielders and the fullbacks that are the biggest talking points at the moment, and probably Mavididi as well. But Cooper has put all his trust, all his faith in James Justin so far. He even said after the Fulham game that Ricardo needs to work to get a place in the team. I mean, I thought he did that over 46 games last season, personally, but hey ho. What's your take on it all, mate? Because clearly Justin's there for a balance, because he wants Christensen as maybe the attacking fullback. He wants a bit of balance with Justin on the other side. But would you maybe look at dropping Christensen in order to get Ricardo in, and then maybe James Justin shifts to left back? What's your take on it all?
Yeah, well, we've seen that before, haven't we, Locks? And I think we went for a run of games when that was happening, where Ricardo was on the right and Justin was on the left, where we were performing well. So I think that could happen, and it's a great shout. I don't see why we shouldn't take the risk. I do like Christensen though. I think he puts a lot of effort in. But like you say, Ricardo missing out just seems a bit criminal, doesn't it? With how well he played last season. We all know that his ACL knocked him back massively as a player. Like, he looked like a world beater before that injury, didn't he? To be honest. But last season we saw glimpses of what he could do before, and yeah, it is a shame that he's not in favour. But it makes you question: has he just got not the right attitude in training, maybe, or what is it? What is it?
I hear you, because it's like, what's going on? But Anil, Ricardo coming back into the team and maybe JJ switching to the left instead of Christensen, does that open the door even more for Stefan Mavididi? But if that is the case, what happens to Abdul Fatawu on the other side? You know what I mean?
I don't see him taking Christensen out of the team. I think he's a good. I just want to say, I am member number 1 of the Ricardo Pereira fan club, by the way. Let's have it right. I think he's the best player in the squad that we have. Maybe now with some of the new signings, but otherwise, in terms of technique, football intelligence, his decision making, brilliant, top player. But Christensen is good. He's in good form. In my opinion, he is playing better than when Ben Chilwell broke into the team. And Ben Chilwell ended up getting sold to Chelsea for a lot of money. And I don't know if this is part of the remit, but Leicester is a club about developing players, sell them on for a profit. There is something to be said there, that who you're going to sell for more money, Ricardo or Victor Christensen, the two. So there is an argument where you could develop a player that way. I would have a left footer on the left-hand side. I think the way that he plays the system, it makes sense to do that. So then it comes either having Ricardo or JJ. JJ, I thought, was at fault for both the goals actually against Fulham, certainly the second one. So I think there's an argument to play Ricardo there anyway. However, I will say for this game specifically, who let me ask you this question, Lox. Who's the one danger player that Crystal Palace have? Who is their most dangerous player?
Eze.
Exactly. And where does he play? He plays as like an attacking left midfielder forward that drifts in, right? And the last time that we played a player who was comparable to that was Heung-min Son, and he didn't really get a kick at the ball. And why was that? It was because of James Justin. He did a brilliant job on it. So I think there is a strong argument to say for a game like this, if you're coming up against a top class player in that position, that you could go for that. So I expect he will play JJ for that reason, and it may even make sense in a game like this. But yeah, look, if it was me, even though I think Victor Christensen looks extremely promising, I agree with what Ash said there, which is that Ricardo, he's such a good player. He was, on his day, he's one of the best players in the... I think he can be played for a Champions League team even now. That's how highly I rate him. And, you know, for a team like us who just wants to stay in the division, is it not madness not to start a player of that much talent? You know, it's okay if you're like Man City, you can bench Jack Grealish, but this is Leicester City. Can we really bench Ricardo Pereira? I mean, it doesn't sound like the smartest move I've ever heard of, if I'm being honest. If we go down, that is going to be a crime against the fans that he did that, is what I would be saying. So I would look to try and get him in there. JJ's been okay, but he's not as good as Ricardo. It's just like we signed other strikers who, Iheanacho was okay, but he's no Vardy. And it's like, well, James Justin is okay, maybe even he's good, but he's just not as good as Ricardo Pereira, who is just like a top draw player, not just on his stage, just when he's not injured. And he hasn't been injured for a while either, so I'm getting a bit passionate.
But we've seen Ricardo coming inside a bit. James Justin coming inside when Victor Christensen does bomb forward. So Ragsy, do you think that suits Justin more than Ricardo, or do you just think, I don't care, I just want Ricardo in the team because of the quality? We just need to play him no matter what.
In terms of Cooper's thinking, he might be looking at it and go, well, we've seen that how advanced Christensen has been in terms of being on that almost the halfway line now, or hugging the touch line. And that allows like JJ just to sort of be narrow and sort of create that back three. So maybe he's sort of thinking it from that aspect. And I think just JJ is more physical. He's got like more pace. So just in terms of that recovery pace, like he has those advantages over Ricky. It is, but logic dictates really. Like Cooper's gone out and said that, you know, he's watched all the games from last season and leaves out our two most pivotal players in Ricardo Pereira and Steffi Mavrodidi. And, you know, they're not starting at all. And I don't see as to how already that is like leaving out the best technical players in the side and already at a disadvantage. So I think with Ricardo from last season and how he can be inverted, I thought that brought out the best of him, in my opinion, because of what happened with him with his injuries and the case that it's like, you know, he's going to lose that yard of pace and like not be as sharp and sort of build himself into it. But when you put him in the middle next to Winks as well, where he can sort of be at that base of play, he can take every single game by the scruff of the neck. He could then have the license to go and advance further up the pitch and go and create opportunities if he can do. But then give him that responsibility. And because he's so disciplined, he'll be able to do that. And that just worked to a T. But because of this change of system, maybe like Cooper's looking at it and going, well, can he revert back? Does he want to revert back to it? But, you know, I think even if it's right back CM, you play him. It's not. What I will say in Justin's defense, though, is like he's had the same injury issues as Ricky. Like, you know, he's done his ACL and he's done his Achilles as well. And it's like then having that season where he really struggled adapting to Enzo's style, and then it did feel for him a bit because he was kind of thrown back in and tried to, you know, start getting himself back up to speed again. And there were moments last season where he was doing that, and I think there could be moments this season where he does like pick up his form. I think the Fulham game, it was two dreadful mistakes that ended up being fatal. Like, okay, the second half against Tottenham, but I think they were looking.
I think the first one's harsh, by the way, to blame on Justin. I think the first one's harsh to blame on Justin, personally. I think him and Vestergaard were both.
I think he's out of position. I think
Vestergaard was as well.
It's far too narrow, though, when you do look at it, and that allows Smith Rowe to go in advance. So if he goes out to him, then he deals with it at source. So, like, okay, you can look at who gave the ball away in transition, but that could have been stopped. So it was on JJ as well, like mainly. for me.
Reedy, I don't know what you mean. Everyone's saying what I've been saying, yet apparently I'm saying it's going too attractive. Does anybody make sense?
I
of
think-
that?
I've been
I
paying
think,
attention.
I
sorry.
think he's trying. Yeah,
Attacking.
yeah, we're trying to prioritize attractive football instead of just going for it. Is what
Right.
I read from that.
Yeah.
Basically.
What's everyone's expectation? Oh, there we go. Yeah, cheers, Reedy. By the way, everyone, just you can leave a comment. Let us know that you're here. Let us know what you think to the game. It's much appreciated if you leave your comments. What's everyone's expectation? I'll start with you, Anil. What is your expectation for this game, mate? Because I know we spoke last week on a stream about it and what we demanded, if you like. I mean, I think we both demanded a point, right? But at the minimum, I think you might have even said a win. You're demanding a win, but
I'm still going for the win. I think he will actually go for it. It won't be like all-out attack, but I think he will start an attacking midfield instead of Ndidi, and we'll see us actually have a go. Will that be enough or not? I don't know. They are very good opposition. They've got a good manager. But I just think the way that we've played, we may even deserve a few more points than what we've got. And I think we'll do it. And I really think it's the PSR thing. I think that's going to give the squad massive morale boost. If it's not, that's a bigger worry. And I think we will just get it over the line. I think we're due something at Selhurst Park, and we're going to get it 2-1 the Foxes.
nice, mate. I think we'll all be buzzing with that. Ragsy, what are you demanding from this game? Would you be happy with another close game, but 0 points, another, well, Cooper kept us, in the game for 60 minutes. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Yeah.
It's another close game. We're competing.
Never seen that.
Yeah, there we go. I think after the Villa game, like, okay, you look at the Villa game before on paper and go, like, this is the toughest out of the 3 that we've had. And you're
Yeah.
thinking it's really going to be a tough ask to get anything. But then you go into the game, and because of our negative approach for, like, what was it, 60, 67 minutes or whatever it was, like, we hindered ourselves. We weren't in the game at all. And when you looked at Villa, they were crap. Like, and off the balance of play and stuff, like, they struggled even stringing 2 passes together. Where they won was they managed to piece together moments of quality from the set piece and from Duran's header as well. There were just 2 individual moments of brilliance and stuff. And that's what got them the win. But had we stuck it to them and maybe it's been positive, been on the front foot, especially in the first half an hour, for sure. Like, have we got that first goal, we definitely would have got a result, without a shadow of a doubt. So I then look at that and go, right, you've got to right your wrongs of that. So I'm expecting at least a point. And if not, then, and for me, I think the game's going to be won and lost when the team selection comes out. The team lineups come out an hour before.
I think it could well
I don't
be.
know, I
No,
don't.
I agree. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Mate, you can just see the head loss on Twitter if the wrong team comes out. Ash, over to you, mate. What are you expecting from this? What do you think?
I'm expecting 3 points. I'm sorry. I think I'm with the guys. I think the PSR thing changes everything now this season, and we've got to start expecting more. Before you're thinking, oh, minus 10 points. Let's just give it a go, Leicester City. Give Cooper time. It's great to be back going to these grounds for a season, and we were half expecting to go down. Not anymore. No, they've got a few players in. If we start playing more attacking, then I think we can take points off teams. And why not a team like Crystal Palace? They're there and around us. We should be playing to win.
Yeah, 100%. Right, let's go around score because I agree with you. I mean, I'll start with my score prediction. I'm saying 1-1. That's what I think will happen. I'm demanding a win. But I think it'll be a 1-1. As long, I just want to see us score the first bloody goal. That's all I want to see. You know what I mean, lads? I just want to see us go out there and just try and score before going 1-0 down, because that's what winds me up the most. Because every time that we've actually attacked a team so far, we've looked quite good. So we can clearly cause trouble. So yeah, my prediction, not what you want to see, prediction. My prediction is 1-1. What about you, Ragsy, mate?
Just depends on that team selection, really. I think he has to start Steffi, and I think he will. I think he'll cave into pressure and he'll look from the outside and go, if I don't start picking him like it's not only pressure from the fans; it'll be all around the squad as well, and being like, why are you not playing your best players? So I think he will sort of cave in. I think he may go like with a 2 CDMs and stuff, and I'm thinking maybe he might go with Ndidi and Skip. That's kind of what I've been feeling, and leave out Winks, which is like I think it's for the sake of physicality and the robustness, and then to sacrifice that and then allow us to play like it's a cam. Now, whether that's for Kundo and El Canous, I'm not sure. He'll probably stick with JJ at right back and usual sort of fullbacks and leave out Ricky, but I think even then, I'm kind of low key sort of confident about this. So I'll be bold here. You hear it
Go on.
first. But yeah, 2-0. 2-0 win.
2-0 win. Lovely stuff. Ash, score prediction.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester. I honestly think that we might grab 2 goals, look really positive. They stick one past us about 70 minutes, and then we're on the ropes, but we see it out. And I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to take loads of these nervy wins, I think, this season.
Mm-hmm.
Anil, have I asked you for your score prediction? I don't think I have I? No, I haven't. What's your score prediction, mate?
No, but I said it before. You can keep the receipts. I said 2-1 as well.
2-1,
Had it on camera there. I actually think we might concede the first goal again, but I just think we will have more about us. We'll see how it goes. But I'll ask you just a quick question before we wrap up, though. It's just that if we went for it, but we lost, would you still be happy?
Mate, I would. This is what I keep saying, right?
Same.
Because then the Cooper lovers, well, not the Cooper, no one's a Cooper lover, I don't think, but the people who backed Cooper to come in and do a good job, and then the one I've been saying to them recently in the last couple of games, like told you so, and all this negative, and all this, but they keep saying to me, well, if we go attacking, we're gonna get beat, and I'm like, you know what, like. You lot moaned all last year about Enzo's football being boring, and now you're happy to see us sit back and defend for 70 minutes. Like, are you having a laugh? Like a bunch of hypocrites. So, mate, I'll take it. If we go at Palace for 90 minutes and try and score a goal, try and score 2 goals, whatever, I don't give a shit if we lose 5-3. You know what I mean? I honestly don't. I want to see us actually give it a go. Obviously, then it becomes maybe unsustainable if that keeps happening, of course. But I want to see us at least have a go at it, because the small periods of games that we have gone at teams, we've looked good. So Cooper, prove to me that your style is the best option, right? Because so far it hasn't been. We've not won a game. So let me see the other option first before I can assess. Basically, so anyway. After all that spiel about going attacking and loads of goals, I'm going to say 1-1. I think it'll be a draw. I hope we win. I really do. But I'll go for a 1-1. I'll just bring up a couple comments again that I'd already brought up. I'll bring them up again. Score predictions from Ray 2-2. Tom says 2-0 City, first clean sheet of the season. Reedy says 3-1 Palace. He's always as negative as me. At least I've said a point.
We'd be in League One by now if we listened to Reedy every week. I'm convinced of it.
Well, to be fair, mate, I mean, my 1-1 prediction is my heart. If I was going in my head, I'd say probably 2-1 loss or something. And LCFC _fan fan15 says 2-0 to, I'm guessing, to Leicester. Let's end with that. All right then. So Anil, what's going on over for Fox's sake? Over the weekend, mate. I know you did just release a video. Was it yesterday? So tell people.
Yeah, I've got a match preview video where I've gone into the tactics, which I think is worth looking at. You can understand, where the game can be won and lost, where the key battles are going to be. Over the weekend, I'm going to be joining you for a bit of your match day lives. I don't want to spin too much, but I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be doing the instant match reaction afterwards. But I always do an analysis video as well, where I really try and match of the day, they never do anything for a team like Leicester. So I try and provide that service, actually look at the tactics, what's working and what's not. And people enjoy that show. So I'll definitely have that out. That'll be out on Sunday.
Ash, I ask you this every time. I keep telling Ash, make a YouTube channel. He hasn't listened yet, which is fair enough. But go on, mate. Where can people find you on Twitter, on X?
Yeah, just find my handle. I think it's like @OceansAsh. And like I say, I just enjoy talking football at the minute. Probably get round to the channel thing eventually, but I enjoy being on your guys' channels too much at the minute.
Nice one. Ragsy, what's going on over at Talk Leicester City?
Yeah, just we're bashing out the content and stuff like over the course of a busy summer and just like reviewing transfer window signings, and we'll head into the season with like team selections and stuff. So yeah, catch us over at Talk Leicester City podcast. Just like we're just trying to do as many streams as we can a week. And we're also on Foss Hub's live streams as well. And you can catch us on playback. That's our main sort of like base as to where we're actually going about and doing streams. So catch us on either Talk Leicester City or Foss Hub, and even for Matchday Lives as well. And we'll either way just busting out a load of content.
Lovely stuff. As Anil mentioned, this weekend on the Blue Tint and Glasses YouTube channel, we have a Match Day Live, which is basically a watch along. So yeah, we're going to start at 2:45, 15 minutes before the match. Obviously, then we'll have the watch along. Anil will be on at half time. Where is he? There he is. Give us a wave, Anil. Anil will be on at half time, and then obviously second half watch along, and 5 minutes or so, a bit of reaction at full time, and then after that there will be a redirect over to Anil's channel for a instant match reaction. So join us live from 2:45 on Blue Titted Glasses for that. Thanks to the lads for joining me. Much appreciated. Hope to see some of you next Wednesday for episode 3, hopefully with an extra 3 points on the board. Cheers all. Thanks so much. See you next time.